Welcome everyone to the show. I am your host Don Vic. What's up? What's up? What's up, everyone? You already know the vibes. You know the vibes. This is a show where you meet new talent, new faces, and new stars all the time. So today we got a great guest coming on the show. He is a stuntman and an actor by the name of Anthony Pagliaro Jr. I hope I'm pronouncing this last name correctly. So he'll be on the show in a few minutes. But before we bring him on the show, I want to thank everybody that tuned in yesterday and show support and show the love to the Don Vic Show. Thank you guys so much. Big shout out to the paranormal family, the P3 family, and everyone around the world that tunes in and watch the show. Thank you guys so much, so much, so much. And today we got two shows coming on, one at 5 with Anthony and the other one with my brother Donnie Brown will be on at 7 o'clock. So make sure you guys tune in and show the love. Show the love, show the love. Okay, folks. And so we're going to bring Anthony on because he's here on the panel. And we're going to talk to him and find out what he's doing at this present day and what he's done in the past. Okay. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Debbie Wallace, for tuning in. What's up? What's up? What's up? So please, folks, welcome Anthony Pagliaro Jr. to the show. Anthony, what's up, baby? What's up? What's up? What's up? So, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Like I said, I just woke up from my little cat nap, little power nap.
I'm sure did I. So, welcome to the show. It's an honor to have you here on the show.
Thank you.
And we know now that you are a actor and also a stuntman.
Yes.
So, tell us, how long have you been a stuntman?
So, believe it or not, I never thought about doing stunts. I went into the service back in 2000. I got out of the service and I started training at a gym. And the coach there was like, "Hey, did you ever think about fighting? Did you ever think about getting in the cage?" And I'm like, "No, I kind of like my face. I kind of like my body. I don't, I really don't want to do that." So I kept training and kept going to the classes. It was jujitsu and kickboxing at the time. And he came up to me about a couple months later. He's like, "Hey, you want to give it a shot?" I'm thinking in my head, you know what? If I don't do it, he's not going to shut up about it. He's not going to stop pestering me. So let's just go do it. Right. So it was a Saturday. I remember this day to a T. It was a Saturday, and I was like, "Hey, it's a sparring day." I was like, "Hey, I'll spar somebody and see if I like it or not." He's all right. Well, go get your gear on and go step in the cage. I'm like, all right. I'm thinking it's going to be a teammate or it's going to be someone that we train with. Nope. Here comes coach. And I'm like, oh, crap.
The coach. Holy crap.
So he comes in and, he wasn't beating pardon my French, but he wasn't beating the crap out of me, but he was hitting me. He was kicking me. He was making me think after he was hitting me. And I went one round with him. Then we went another round, and I was like, nope. And I broke down. I hate to admit this. Guys cry. But I broke down, and I cried right in the middle of the cage. And I don't know if it was the adrenaline. I don't know if it was just all the emotion from being in there. Yeah. But it brought me to another level. And ever since then, I enjoyed it. I love training. I love the fighting aspect. So I did it for probably about, oh boy. Altogether about 13 years.
Wow.
And so I did amateur level, then I became professional. At one of my fights about 2013, some stunt guys actually came to the promotion that I was fighting for. And that night I had the fastest knockout of the night. I knocked the guy out in 10 seconds.
Wow.
So they were coming backstage and talking to the fighters and, talking about stunts and the movies and this and that. And they come up to me, "Hey, we saw your fight. We loved it. How would you like to get paid a lot more for what you know how to do, but not actually get hit or not actually get punched?"
Right.
And I'm thinking, what fun is that? Acting like I'm getting hit, acting like I'm getting punched.
Right.
And so, come down to our training center, have a couple free lessons, free classes, and see what you like. And ever since then, I've fallen in love with it. But getting older, as you know, our body doesn't heal like it used to. So
That's
now
right.
the transition into the acting side of the movies, the film industry.
Right. So when you was a stuntman, did you do any stunts for any films while you was
So
a
I did
stuntman?
my first stunt was for Theo Rossi, which I think everybody knows from Sons of Anarchy.
Yes.
Um, the movie I was telling you about, Squealer, I
Hmm.
was actually, standing on that show. Um, and they asked me, hey, Andy Armstrong, who's well known for Marvel comics and Marvel movies. He was, a stunt coordinator, and now he's a director.
Right.
So him and I hit it off right away. So he's like, "Hey, Anthony, the stunt guy didn't show up for Theo. Can you do this stunt?" And I was like, "Yeah, it seems easy enough. I'm not going to say what the stunt was until the movie comes out."
Right. Right.
But needless to say, pardon my French, my ass hurt for a while after doing the stunt. Um, I got I just got it was around animals. I'm not gonna say the animals, but
Right.
my ass was hurting afterwards. And after that, you know, in the film industry, like I was telling you, word gets out, names
Yeah.
get tossed everywhere. People start talking, and
Yeah.
it's blown up since then. After that, I went on to the show Big Sky, which is a TV series, and I did a couple stunts for Jensen Ackles, who everybody knows from Supernatural.
Yeah.
But those are the only two major stunts that I've done so far. Otherwise, I've been in a couple of fight scenes. I've been, in TV series, indie films.
Right.
I have that one that's on Amazon Prime, that I was the lead in, that I actually did my own stunts for. So it's been up and down.
Hmm. That's awesome. Um, what would you like to avoid completely in in your next job as a stuntman?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Thanks.
Um, I'm not afraid of heights, but I would have to say something I would like to avoid is actually maybe jumping off a building through glass, or jumping off a building through a door or something like that.
Right.
Getting pulled through a door, or jumping through a door, or jumping through a window is easy, but jumping off a building or jumping off something high
Yeah.
onto glass or through a window, I think I'd be a little iffy on.
Yes, I agree. I agree on that. I love stuntman. I love to see the stunts. But I don't think I can do it. Just because it's very dangerous. Um, you never know when you're gonna go through a glass and it's gonna be that day. You
Mhm.
know, and it's very dangerous. So I take off my hat to all the stuntmen around the world that do the stunts, because it's not easy. You
It's
know,
not.
it's not easy. But you're right. I would have said the same thing. Heights would be something that I would avoid completely. As a stuntman, would be heights, um, going through glass, and jumping off boats.
Yeah, because once you hit that water, it doesn't feel like water.
Gosh, it feels like a concrete.
That's right.
you know and then you gotta wait, think about what's under that water when you land. Make sure there ain't no sharks under there driving by, you
Mhm.
know what I mean?
Yep.
So it is a dangerous thing to do. Stuntman is it's very dangerous. Can you describe a time when you anticipated uh potential problems and developed uh pre- preventive measures?
Um, hmm. Is this dealing with
Uh,
my military, or any time?
yeah, anytime. Just your military.
Um, I've had a couple times on set. It was mostly in the military. Um, some of the military things I don't really like to talk about because it, spikes up my PTSD from that. Um, being on set, I've worked with a lot of actors and actresses where I hate to admit this, and a lot of people know, but a lot of actors and actresses have that I'm the shit
Yeah,
mentality,
yeah, yeah.
and they think their crap don't stink.
Right,
I'm not going to mention any names because you can't.
right, right.
But I had this one actor that I was working with on a certain movie,
Mhm.
and every so often the director would be like, "Hey, are you going to come do your part? You going to come do your scene?" And it was just everybody was starting to get pissed. Everybody's starting to get impatient,
Yeah,
because he thought he was high and mighty because he's an A-lister, and
right,
you're going to work on my time, and the director didn't have it, so I had to calm him down because I knew the director,
right.
and trying to calm him down, trying to calm down the PAs because I've worked with the PAs on a lot of different other projects,
Mm,
and once you're in the film community in the industry, you know people, and they become your family, they become your friends, and you
yes.
know them, you get to
Right,
know them.
right.
So just trying to calm them down, and I'm a jokester. A
Mhm.
lot of people compare me to Jim Carrey when I'm on set because I'm always laughing.
Right,
I'm always
right.
laughing. I'm always having fun. I'm always doing jokes.
Yeah.
Tripping, acting like I'm tripping up on something, and be like, trying to lighten the
Tighten it
mood.
up. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's and and that's very uncomfortable. I thank God I haven't been to a set like that where it's been chaotic with
Hmm.
someone trying to push their weight around because we got to wait on them, and they don't understand that when they start acting like that and make the director uncomfortable, it makes it uncomfortable for everybody else.
Yes, because the director gets upset and takes it out on everybody else.
Everybody else, exactly. So any little small thing that you do on the line, you miss the line, or you miss the word. Nah, bring it back. Did you study it? Blah 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 blah. So now you're like, oh boy. Now you're afraid to um act because you're being afraid to get screamed at
Yep.
for So yeah, it's very uncomfortable. I don't like to work uh, with companies like that. If I go to a company and I see chaos, I just don't do it. I said, listen, I don't think I can do this.
Hmm.
Even though if I can, I just don't want to be a part of it. You know, so you know, uh, people need to be more professional. You
Yes.
know, on set. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Um, what has been your biggest professional disappointment?
Ooh, I got one.
Okay.
Um, so being trying to transition into the acting part, I've had a lot of auditions, and this one audition I did, I actually auditioned for two roles. It was on a feature film, and I didn't get the parts, but I got called saying, "Hey, the actor would love for you to be their stand-in. He sees your work, he sees your talent, and he wants somebody that you don't have to keep calling or knows what to do or knows how to do it, so we can keep the movie going."
Right.
So it felt good knowing that the actor, heard about me or knew about me. Um, so I went on and did it. We got really close. We started talking. He taught me a lot. I actually have his personal number. Um,
Awesome.
there's a couple A-listers that I do that because I've worked with them and got to know them.
Right.
Um, and during the feature film, there was this part that I auditioned for, and the person they picked for it.
Is the scratch in the head?
So I'm a registered nurse, okay,
Right.
and the part that I tried out for was a nurse in the ER scene. So before they even had the scene going, they were setting up the scene, making it look like an ER. Well, the
Yeah.
director comes up and goes, "Hey, Anthony, we know you're a nurse. Can you tell us how the ER is supposed to look or what's in the rooms or what?" And I'm like, I hope I'm getting paid extra for this.
Right.
I didn't say that to him, but
Right.
I went in there. I was like, "Hey, this needs to come down. That won't be in there. This needs to be over there. The bed needs to be here." And
Yeah.
after that, the director comes to me, "Hey, we're going to give you a bump. I can't say how much it was, but
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
we're going to
Yeah.
give you a bump. We're going to give you like the consultant role, they called it."
Yeah.
Um, and then I don't know. It just ugh. Some people they pick for roles, they have nothing to do with that role, and they don't know what they're doing. And
Right.
it's all. I hate to say this, ladies. I'm not being sexist. I'm not. But I hate to say this. A lot of roles they give to females because they have the look.
Yes. Yes, I agree. I agree 100%. Because looks for the industry is a plus.
Hmm.
And for us men, too. We not a lot of us are good looking. you know, but we have talent. You know,
Exactly.
you might be good looking, but you might not have the body structure. You know, you might have the opposite. Or you might have it all. So and you notice that when you're looking at like Disney, you know, movie Disney from movies that Disney bring, they're all young models, good looking guys, great bodies,
Yeah,
you
but
know,
pardon my French, but their acting sucks.
a lot of them. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree. So it gets harder for us as we get older, right? Especially if we don't have a name for ourselves,
Exactly.
to get into this industry. So it has to do more with who to get put on, or you have to put an an awesome addition to get picked.
Hmm.
So it makes it hard for people like myself and others that don't have that name, that haven't been in a lot of films, to be able to get into a good film. you
Exactly.
know and if we do, you usually get the background, the extra. You might get lucky, you get a small speaking role, depending on the character that they're looking for.
Hmm.
So it's a 50-50 chance of getting on a film, you know unless you really know people and they like you and they want to give you that opportunity. They say, you know what,
Exactly.
we like Anthony. He may not fit the character, but he can do the line. You know, let's give
And he
him
can
the
make it work.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Right. So the character is probably my size, bald headed, thing. But here comes Anthony, got hair, he's thin. You know what I'm saying? He's the opposite of the character, but because you know people and they like you and they know that you can perform, they gave you the opportunity. So,
Exactly.
these things happen. Mike Wagner, what's up? We got Mike Wagner in the building.
What's up,
Great.
Mike?
Yeah, Mike is also a talk show host. He's phenomenal. He's on, a whole lot of platforms. Maybe we can bring you on his show as well. We got my brother Avi Klein in the building as well. Avi has a great show, great debate. Anthony, he has all types of movie stars, football players, coaches that come on his show and they have a debate. And Avi is the host of the show. He's amazing. He's a great guy. Um, so is Truly Julie, and they start at 8 o'clock tonight, right after I do the show with Donnie Brown. I'm gonna
Let's talk
tune
some
in.
sports. Come on, let's get some sports going.
So AV's, AV, I mean Avi and Mike Wagner, they're similar because Avi can talk fast. I mean, when he talk, he talks so fast you gotta rewind it to catch up with him. And
Instant
Mike,
slow mo.
yeah, and Mike too. Mike been doing it for a long time as well. So I compare those two to each other because they both, they both. When Mike come on and Mike talk, I I be like, is that really Mike or is that a robotic? All right, but I love Mike Wagner is amazing. And Mike, let me tell you, Mike Wagner knows his sports too. Mike Wagner is a sports fanatic. Football, basketball, you name it, that's what he does. And Avi does too, Um, but people tune in and watch this show tonight. Check out Mike Wagner's show as well. He'll be having some great stars on his show as well from all over the world. They're amazing.
Awesome.
Do you think? Yeah, so maybe we can bring you on the Mike Wagner show as well. You
Would
know,
love to.
yeah, you'll love Mike. I know you'll love Mike. Mike is
Go
great.
Yankees.
Would you say Yankees?
That's right.
Oh man, I'm a Bostonian. Go Red Sox. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. But you know, um, what would you say your greatest strengths and weakness are?
Strengths is definitely my personality. Um, Being a nurse, being in the military, growing up, um, I went through a lot of difficult times growing up. I was tossed back and forth between my mom and my biological father. Always making new friends, going to a different state, going to a different school. Um, I've always laughed. My way of getting past it is laughing, or having people laugh, or having them smile. Um, when I went into medical field, I started out as a certified medical assistant, and then went on to get my registered nurse.
Right,
And in the medical field, you have to have the biggest thing is compassion.
right,
That and bedside manner. There's a lot of nurses and people I've worked in the medical field that they have no bedside manner.
right,
Um, and like I said, the compassion and making light of the subject. It might be a serious subject to them, and it might
right,
get them upset or it might get them angry. And the best way is make them laugh. I mean, I hate to quote this, but Patch Adams is an excellent um, what do they call that? Where you can compare it to.
mm-hmm.
Making somebody laugh, making them smile, it goes a long way. Somebody could be having, pardon my French, could be having a crappy day or a shitty day, and they might be upset, they might be pissed off, angry. If you make them laugh or just a simple wave or how you doing, it might
Right,
change their day just like that.
right. I agree because I'm the same way, and I do it here on the show. I do it because you never know who's having a bad day.
Hmm.
So once in a while I sneak in a joke, or make certain face expressions here on the show just to make people laugh, and they do. And so like Mike and Avi, they said LOL, but because you never know when someone's having a bad day or they're down, and sometimes people come on my platforms like they do now and comments, and I just I pick someone, and I make a joke
Hmm.
just to make them laugh. Um, and it's needed because we got to live happy, man. We can't be stressed out. Life is too short, and what's going on in the world right now, Anthony? We got to enjoy life because we don't know what's going to happen 5 months from now. We might be on a
As I like
shutdown.
to, as I like to say, misery loves company.
Exactly, exactly, and I agree 100%. And so you got to make your life the way you want to make it.
Hmm.
If you want to be miserable in your life, then that's what you do. You make your life miserable. You want to be happy, you want to be successful, then you follow that dream. You
Hmm.
know, um, do am I where I want to be? No, I see myself in other places, but it's going to take me time. It's going to take me to meet other people that are in better positions to help me grow to the next level.
Exactly.
Because you can't do this by yourself. You're always going to need someone, right? Unless you're a millionaire, yes. Unless you're a millionaire and you can do your own things, then that's different. But if you're not a millionaire, and you're trying to make moves, you got to connect with the right people,
Yep.
and let those people guide you to the right where you need to be. And
Never be afraid to ask for help.
that's right. Because when you're a good guy and people can see right through you, see the honesty in you, and know that you really want this, and they're good people and they're good hearted, they will help you.
Yes, they will.
They will help you. And like I said, these movies that I play in, I didn't audition. I got it because they like me. They like who I am. They like my personality. I'm always who you see here is what you see every time. You know,
Hmm.
I don't I don't play two sides. I play one side. This is who I am. You like me or you don't like me, right?
Well, I hate to say this, being from the East Coast, we're very blunt.
Right, we are.
And I
Especially
went
me.
down.
Especially
So
when
I was doing a lot of the films that I did were down in New Mexico and down in Texas and Colorado, and they're not used to that.
right.
So it was funny. For an example, when I was stationed in Utah, you
Hmm.
know how Utah has the Mormons and everybody else.
Yes, yes.
My first week there, no kidding, almost everybody on the base were like, "Where are you from?" "What do you mean where I'm from?" They're like, "You're too forward. You need to relax." I'm like, "Why?
Yeah,
Why can't I tell you how I feel, or why can't I tell you what's going on instead of, hey, how you doing? Picking piece of crap." You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, 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 yeah. You know, I those people I try to stay away from. I'd rather you tell me the truth in my face than me hear it from someone else because you know that tells what type of character you. And I respect that. You know, if I'm doing something and I'm not doing it right, and you're my friend, the right thing to do is correct me.
Hmm.
If you're doing something and I'm your friend, or even I don't have to be your friend, but just this is just the way I am. If I see you doing something or you're acting, and I say, well, wait a minute, I can help this guy out. I'm going to step in and say, hey, try it like this. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm going to say, hey, once you switch it up a little bit, try it this way and see how that works out for you. Because I don't want to make it seem like I'm telling them what to do, either. So, but I try to help people become better at what they do and try to uplift them to a better place. Because I always say, Anthony, it's not about me. It is about me, but it's about my circle, my people that I'm working with. I'm not a selfish guy. I like
Exactly.
to work with people, and I want to see you grow because when I see you grow, I'm growing.
Hmm.
And people gotta understand that.
They're always learning, always learning.
Always learning, always, and that's a very, very important in this industry of that we're in acting,
Hmm.
and filming. My brother AV there has a great show, like I said, TKN. And if you see the people he brings on his show, man, you know, top of the line, just like Mike Wagner, top of the line actors, actors that you and I look up to. Actors that you and I be like, man, I would like to someday do a film with this guy. Those are the type of guests that AV and Mike be having on this show. I
Nice.
get them once in a while to come through here, and I get them on my show. But would I love to have more? Of course. I would love to have, you know, um, Eric Roberts on my show, even though I did a film with him. I didn't get to talk to him because it was at different shoots. But Tom Arnold, I would love to have Tom Arnold on my show, but I'm gonna wait my time. I'm gonna wait for the right opportunity, and see if I can get him on the show,
Hmm.
because you know, uh, what's for you is gonna be for you. And again, like I said, you meet people that know people that might like you and say, you know what, I want to help this. I want to help this guy. I want to help his show. Boom, and connect you to the right people, and then you start bringing great guests to your show.
Exactly.
Like you guys. That's been doing great things. Um, what do you enjoy most of acting?
Family. It's, I hate to admit this, but knowing the people I know and being on set, it's not being on set. It's you're going there and you're hanging out with family because they treat
Mm-hmm.
you like family. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody, hey, how you doing? I saw what you saw that. It's. I'll give you a comparison, which it gets to me every time. I was going through a rough time. Um, my PTSD kicked in. I was getting depressed, and you know how you get depressed and emotions start coming out. You start
Yeah,
posting different things. You start doing different things.
yeah.
I had more people from from the film industry contact me. Hey, are you okay? Hey, what's going on? You need to talk. You want to go out for beer? You want to go out to eat? I had more of them contact me than my own
Family
family.
member. Yeah, yes.
And it's so, it hurts me, but it really shows that life. People think actors and actresses and stunt people in the film industry, they're hot shots. They don't want to be a regular person. They don't care about, as I'd like to say, peons. but
Yeah.
we're one big family, and
Right.
it's so it just feels so good.
Right. And you know, I agree with you, Anthony, because when I went to do the movie out in Las Vegas, Desert Fiends, that's the first thing I noticed
Hmm.
was the energy and the love. Everyone there, and mind you, we all came from different parts of the world to go film this film. And that's how I met Truly Julie. She's also
Hmm.
part of TKN. And everyone there, Anthony, was amazing. Besides the acting, as a person, they were all phenomenal. You know,
Hmm.
everyone was nice. Everyone wanted to help. Nicole, you know, would you need anything? Do you need me to do extra stuff? You know, did you need me to be behind the scene? Everyone was looking for something to help out, and and everyone was so fabulous. I can't say nothing wrong about that set
Hmm.
because it was all love, and still now, and this was months ago that we did this, and still now I still have friends from then that still I talk to. You know,
Yep.
I text. You know, Avi I met through Julie. I haven't met Avi yet, but I'm definitely going to meet him. You know, either through here through virtual through camera or maybe someday in person. But
Hmm.
Avi is also seems like a great guy. Because if he wasn't, I'm sure Julie wouldn't be working with him, right? But that
Exactly.
that is important on a set to feel comfortable because when you feel comfortable on set, that's going to bring the best out of you.
Correct.
You know, so yeah, that's very very important on set, and you're right. Sometimes it's those people that you don't know that care more about you, you know, and reach out to you than your own family.
Yep.
Because if you was to do a scene where they said, "Hey, Anthony, we're gonna here's a check for 5 million," families there, they'd be the first ones there.
Yep. Yep. It's just like with my fighting career. Nobody thought I was ever going to do it, or always talking crap. Oh, you're not going to last a minute, or you're not going to last the whole round. You're not going to do this. And then as soon as I started fighting, hey, how you doing? What's going
Mhm.
on? Can I get tickets to your fight? Yeah, you can
Uh,
buy
that's right.
it.
Yeah, and you
That's
know, and I don't know why people have problems supporting, especially family members. They feel that because their family, they don't have to pay. Well, maybe you don't have to, but show me some support. You know, buy some tickets, help me sell some tickets. You know,
Hmm.
it's always it's always
Give me
um
this. Give me that.
yeah,
Your family. That should mean something. Well, you weren't there for me. Why should I? Why should I give you something?
right. Are you there for me when I'm down and out? Are you there for me when I
Exactly.
need this? No, you know, it's weird, but that's just the way life is. And you know, you just got to do what's best for you. You know,
Exactly.
at this point, you know, um, what are your long term career goals?
I Well, one, I want to become an A-lister. I don't know if it'll ever happen. Lord willing, I'll get there. But I would love to do a film with Michael J. White.
Mm.
I've looked up to him. I love his personality. I'm friends with him on Instagram. Um,
Wait,
I
Michael J. White, is that
The martial artist.
yeah, didn't he just do the movie something down? What's the name of that
Mhm.
movie?
Never back down.
Never Back Down.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did both those. But he is just his personality, his family life, his thoughts about life.
yeah,
He's just an amazing person. Denzel Washington. I would love to do a movie with him.
yeah, yeah. Oh
Uh,
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I did the. It was a long time ago. I don't know if you ever heard of the Magnificent Seven, the
Of
one with
course.
Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was Chris Pratt's stand-in on that one, and the
Mhm.
day that I was working with Chris Pratt, Denzel Washington wasn't there, so I never met him. I was so mad.
Oh
But
boy.
it's those are the two I definitely would love to work with. They're just their personalities, their lookout on life. They're always willing to help. You
Yeah,
know, they're not the stuck up A-lister type. You know what I mean?
yeah, and he's very disciplined. Michael is
Yes.
very disciplined. One of my good friends, Asif Akbar, which is a director, did a movie called Commando with Michael White. He's in it. Just released recently, maybe a couple months ago. And Asif Akbar is an amazing director. He's worked with a lot of the greatest actors, and Michael White is one of those individuals. And the movie's called The Commando. And if you look at it, you'll love the film. It's an amazing film.
I'm gonna have to watch it.
Yeah, yeah. What were you What were you like as a kid?
I
Hard
was
to control.
I was what they said. This is coming from my mom. I was always doing something. I
Right.
was never sitting still. I was playing outside. I was playing in the dirt. I was playing in here. I never could sit still. She goes, the only way that she used to get me to sit still, which I know a lot of people are probably gonna laugh at, or they probably still do it, but she would put me in the car seat and literally drive me around the block, and I would pass out just like that. Or she'd get the little bit of vodka or rum and put it on her, and put it on your gums, and I'd pass right out. And I'm like, oh, that's why vodka doesn't bother me when I drink it. But yes, I was the little daredevil growing up. I was always jumping, always playing around, messing with things I shouldn't have been messing with.
Right, 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 right. And how was your school? How was school? Was there any bullying going on in school? Was you was,
um, when I came here to the East Coast, because I went back and forth, like I said, between my mom and my biological father. When I was in New York, every so often it would happen until I started pushing myself, and I was in the martial arts and started having that big authority that I could push myself back.
right,
Um, Going down to visit my mom wherever she lived. She was in New Mexico, Colorado, Oklahoma, Texas. I really didn't have to deal with it because, being the new kid, they're going to come up. Hey, where are you from? Hey, what are you doing here? How long are you going to be here? So whenever I would tell them, oh, I'm from New York. Oh, 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 we'll talk to you later. Well, it's like they get that big because they think city. They think,
yeah,
they don't.
gangster. They were gangster. He's
Yep,
gangster.
exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Oh man, that's funny. Talking about my girl Julie Ryder. She's here right now. She's amazing. Julie,
What's
I was
up,
just
Julie?
yeah, Julie's awesome. She's also in the film Desert Things. Um, that's where I met her, and she is uh, Avi Klein's partner in crime. She runs the green room in the back.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah, but she's awesome. Um, you know, and the thing with my platform, I bring you guys in, and I love to connect people with other talk shows because I want you to be exposed to other platforms. Because it's important, right? And it's important to me, Anthony, because I know what it feels like to want to be exposed or expose your talent, and you don't get that opportunity,
Hmm.
right? And I want to be able to give a platform to give people like yourself an opportunity to come on the show. People can hear about your work, see the movies that you played in, and put the face behind it, you
And the
know,
personality.
and the personality exactly because you know if people knew Anthony, not you, on film, they just know the character of Anthony. They don't know the true Anthony, and that's what I like. I like to bring your personality, who you are, to the show, so people can say, you
Mhm.
know what, he's actually a good guy. He was a bad guy in the movie. I hated him. I hated his guts, but he's actually a good guy. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? and those are the things that I love to see in my guests when I bring them on is, check out their personality, feel their vibes. Maybe someday in the future we're bumping on set and be like, "Oh, Anthony, what's up?"
Yeah,
And
exactly.
and
You never know.
you never know. Or I might be on a set and they're looking for someone, and they be like, "Well, we got these people," and I might see your face on the picture, say, "Hey, let's give this guy a try." Again, because you know someone, okay? And next minute you're in, and you be like, "How did I get in?" And next minute I'd be like, "Anthony, what's up?" You be like, "That's okay." Hey, you ain't good looking out.
Yeah.
So, and that's how people should work. Help one another, bring people in that that are good people, that are good actors, and want those opportunities. Help them. Don't be selfish and try to be the only one shining. You know, um,
You
because
actually shine more when you help others.
that's right. And I'm a good example of that, Anthony. You know, because ever since I started my show and I started helping people and bringing people in and putting myself last all the time, doors started opening for me, meeting amazing people like yourself and everyone else that's on this platform right now watching. And I am honored, really honored by meeting these amazing people, because you never know. You don't know who I know. I don't know who you know. I don't know who Julie knows or Abby knows or Mike Wagner knows, right? That
Hmm.
they can connect me to, or I can connect you to. I can connect Julie. Julie can connect me. It's all about connecting one another. But
Correct.
you have to earn that, right? You have to earn it. You have to be that guy or that gal, that people like. Be like, you know what? This person is amazing in and out. I won't even think twice to have him on my on my set, because now he's just a good guy. He's a great helper. He loves people. He's outgoing. He's a people's people, and he's a good actor.
We could go on set and be like, "Hey, hi guys, how you doing?"
Yeah. Which way did he go? Which way
Yeah.
did he go? Oh, okay. Now this is the question of the day. Have you ever dated a fan?
Hmm. When I was fighting, yes, I did.
Okay. And how did that go?
In the acting and stunt world, no, I stayed away from that. Um, but yes, I dated two fans in my fighting career.
Yeah,
It lasted probably, I think, a week, if
that's
that.
that's long.
That's long.
That's a long time, brother. I don't know how you last that long.
Well, we saw each other probably like twice during that week, but it was a week long.
Yeah, the dating nowadays is very tough.
Hmm.
It's very tough. I come from the old school, and when we dated, when we dated back in the days, the relationships lasted 13, 14 years, most 15, some longer, because we had
Exactly.
values and we had morals, and we understood what love meant and feelings meant. You
It's
know,
so weird. It's so weird that you're talking about that because I use my poppy, my grandfather,
Mhm.
who he's been passed away for a while. He taught me to say sweetheart, sweetie, hun. You know, using the words I used back then. And nowadays, girls think it's why you hitting on me? Why you sexist? I'm being nice.
Right,
What
right.
do you mean I'm being sexist? So it's opening doors for females.
Mhm.
They're not used to that.
You square. You a square. You
Yeah,
square.
exactly. What are you
Yep.
doing?
Yeah. It's crazy, this new generation. I see a lot of, you know, I'm in my 50s, so I seen the world turn, a couple centuries now,
I'm not that far
decades.
behind, buddy.
Right. So, I've seen the 90s, I've seen the 2000s, which we are now in the 70s, and how relationships have changed. Um, from the dressing to the attitude to, I don't need you. I can do this on my own,
Hmm.
which a lot of women can do it on their own. I agree. They got great jobs. They do jobs that men do nowadays. Back in the days, you wouldn't find a woman doing construction work. Now they drive trucks. They digging holes, which is
They're
good.
in the car.
'Cause,
They're in the car doing the car work.
yeah, mechanics, which is great
Hmm.
because I feel like women should know that. You know, um, but when it comes to relationship, it's different nowadays. It's I feel like a man got to try harder.
They do.
We got to try hard. It's like you have to show more, or bring more to the table. But what
And
more
then
is
and then
yeah, go ahead.
sometimes that's not even good enough because they want more.
Is exactly. So at the end of the day, you'd be like, man, I'd be better off by myself, just dating women. But then if you start dating women and they see you with different women, they say you're a dog or you're a pimp. That's not the issue. The issue is that I'm trying to find, you know, how can you find the woman of your life if you're not dating different women? Makes sense, right?
Hmm.
If you're not dating, say you date a woman today, she's not for you, no disrespect to her, say, hey, things ain't working out, blah, blah, blah. You move on because you're looking for the right woman. So if you're not dating, how are you going to know? Right? But once you do that, see, in your head, you know why you're doing it. You're not doing it to be a dog. You're not doing it because you're trying to take advantage of women. You're doing it because you're trying to find the right woman. But when the outside looks into you, they say, man, Anthony be having all types of girls, man. I don't want to date him. I don't want that, without knowing the situation.
Hmm.
You
And
know,
then when you
and
try to
I'm
explain, and then you try to explain it to them, and they're like, "Oh no, you were just being a dog. You were being a
right,
slut."
right. Women do it too. Women do it too. But you got to understand what they've been through or their situation as well, because they be doing the same thing we do. Maybe they dating different men to see which men is compatible to them or is the men that they want. Because if they're not dating, then how they're gonna know what man is for them, or the man that they're actually looking for. So I respect it. I respect all both sides. You know, um, I can't judge and knock anyone for doing what they need to do to make sure that they get the right partner. You know, so now the question is this: how would you go about it?
Well, I dated for a long time, and now I am engaged to the one that's out there.
Okay, good, good for you. Congratulations.
But yeah, I went through um, a lot of dating, a lot of being in the film industry, being in the military, growing up. I did a lot of dating, but my dating was I was in long-term relationships. I
Right,
never
me
really
too. Me too.
I
Me
didn't
too.
have the short relate. I didn't have the month or 2 months
Right.
or
Or a
you know
week, or the
yeah
week.
or a week. Um, if I asked you out, it was usually because I could see something with you or I wanted something with you. And then over time, you start picking. Oh, I like that, or I don't like that. Oh yeah, I love that. Oh yeah, I don't want any of that. So it just goes back and forth until you meet that one. And then when you meet that one, going back to what we were saying before, you try and you're doing what your best. You're trying your best. You're changing this. You're changing that. You're giving them what they want. But sometimes that doesn't even feel like it's enough for them because they're always wanting more. And
Right.
it takes two to tango. And
Right.
I've talked to a lot of friends, a lot of people in the film industry. Sometimes it feels like one's giving more than the other, and they're not. It's supposed to be equal. And
Right.
give a little more, then that one person give a little more. So you're always giving and giving. You're
Right. It's
you can
50
take and give.
50. It's 50 50 in my book. You
Hmm.
know, um, I like a woman that's motivated, that's ambitious, that gets her own money, that doesn't really have to depend on me for nothing, because that way you can say, okay, she don't need my money because she got her own money. She's she's a hustler. She, you know what I mean? She get her own stuff. So obviously she likes me for who I am as a person because everything else she got covered. So
Mm-hmm.
obviously there has to be some type of connection here, because and for me, some people have problem with women, Anthony, that makes more than the male. You know, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with my partner making more than I do. I don't have a problem with that. What my problem is to respect me as a man. Respect me for who I am.
Exactly.
And for what I I I I can bring to the table. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
And
Because
appreciate everything we do.
exactly, and vice versa. And so it's hard. Listen, I've been single for 10 years. I've dated. I've spoken to women, and once you go through certain things in your life with women, and you date, and that woman says the wrong thing, a red flag goes up, you back off right away. I have a couple women that I've dated that I've done that, and they've been like, "Oh, you don't call me, more." Say, I've been busy because I don't want to hurt their feelings. So I fade away slowly and just stop calling. But we remain friends. A lot of us remain friends, um, because I look for those quality in women, in a woman. For me, just my opinion. For me, certain things that I want in a woman, for me to be with her, or to accept her. It's not the money, none of that. I'm old school. You know what I'm saying, Anthony? I'm old school. It's about respect, loyalty, love, real love, you know, and we're gonna ride together. You know what I'm saying? If I got it, you got it. If you got it, I got it. If we both got it, then we good. You
Mm-hmm.
know, that's how I was brought up in my household. You know, my father, and my mom, they were together for like 40 years before they both died. And it was a great, they had their ups and downs. I'm not going to sit here and say they didn't. They
Yeah,
had their
everybody.
they had their
Everybody.
arguments. They had their arguments, but they always made up before they went to bed. You
Yep.
know what I mean? There was like no backs turn. In the morning, no this, her, that. It was always peaceful. They always made up. They sat down and they talked. There was communication between them, and that's what I want. I want the communication with my partner, that if we have a problem, we can sit down and talk about it instead of cussing each other out for
Mm-hmm.
no reason. Or if you do something wrong, Anthony, and your wife sees it or your fiance sees it, instead of her getting mad, she say, Anthony, can we talk for a second? And talk about it,
Mm-hmm.
and that way you guys can come to a conclusion of saying, okay, you know what, sweetie, I didn't know that. I'm sorry, I won't do it again. I didn't know that bothered you. That way she respects you more, you respect her more.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that you say, you know what, hon, let's go out to dinner, let's go have a small drink, and then you know
Or
take
let's
off.
have let's have the makeup sex. Let's get it over with.
Yes, yes. I was about to say that. I was to say, then you bring under the big umbrella. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I miss nowadays. Is that you know, and I know you're engaged now, and congratulations to you. But those are just some things that you and I as men are talking about now, and and the good thing is always this: is to always remember, treat her just like you want her to treat you.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, there's always going to be ups and downs. There's always going to be arguments. If you see she's not controlling, just be the better man. Walk out. Say, you know what? I'll be back. I'm gonna let you cool down, and then we'll talk about it. If she doesn't want to talk about it, that's fine. Leave her alone. Let her be. She'll come around it.
Yep.
Because the worst thing to do is to not talk about it, go to sleep with an attitude, or you're on the couch, she's in the bed, and it's just not going to work.
Yeah.
So tell us, what are you working at? What are you working on right now, as far as filming?
As of right now, nothing. It's been just, because of the strike, it's slowed down a lot. It's starting to pick back up again. I've had probably 2 to 3 auditions a week, so I'm constantly doing those. I picked up a part-time job just to keep the money coming in.
Right, right.
Um, so other than that, it's just I haven't had anything set in stone. I might have this one possibility. I actually had someone that I know, as you know, if you know somebody, they know somebody, blah blah blah.
Yes, yes.
So I actually got an audition for a religious role. So I'm gonna try to do that audition this either today or tomorrow, and then hope Lord willing, God willing, that I get it.
Right. You will. You will, because you're gonna make sure you get it.
Mhm.
You put in your best. What I mean? Play that character. Have your wife play the character with you. Say, honey, what do you think? You know what I mean? Honey, I need you to read this line, and I'm gonna have to play my part. So,
Mhm.
I listen. I love a woman that's funny. I love a woman that's down for whatever you down with. You say, honey, this, she'll be like, I'm with it. Let's do it. I love that in a woman. I don't like the woman like, no, I'm not, I don't want to do that. I don't want to try that. I like her to be feminine, but I also like her to be on the edge. You know what I mean? I love a woman that's on the edge, that she's willing to say, if you say, you know what, I'm about to go bungee jumping, she'd be like, I'm going. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah, I know
I'm
what you
with
mean.
you. I'm with you on that one. Okay. I love that. I love a woman that's adventurous. I love it. That turns me on, man. Really, really does. So tell me some of the movies you played in.
Um, well, my first movie that I actually played in was The Magnificent Seven.
Mhm.
My first actual role as a background or extra was In Plain Sight. It was a TV series. I played a sergeant in that one with Mary McCormick. Um, Oppenheimer, that recently just came out in July. Squealer, which has not come out yet. It was picked up by Lionsgate, and it should be coming out soon. That's the
Awesome. Lionsgate.
that's the
That's
speaking
awesome.
role.
That's big.
Yep,
That's big.
that was my speaking role that I told you about.
Mm-hmm.
Waco, the aftermath, the TV series.
Okay.
Big Sky, Walker Independence. I've done a lot
Walker
of.
Independence. What who played in that film? Walker Independence. I feel like I seen it or
It was
heard
a
this.
it's a TV show that was on CW, and it's supposed to be. Do you remember Walker Texas Ranger?
Yes, that's
With
what I'm
Chuck
going
Norris?
with it. That's where I'm going with it.
It's supposed to be the like how Walker Texas Ranger came about. So Walker
Uh
Independence is like where he came from, the story of how he became who he was.
I knew it was somewhere around with Texas. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. Okay, that's awesome. So what does your fiance say about your career as an actor? What does she thinks about it?
She helps me a lot with auditions. She
Cool.
knows a couple actors herself,
Oh,
so she gets pointers from them. But almost every audition I have that has lines in it, she'll be my reader. There's been nights where she comes home from work and I know she's tired, but she'll still, sit up and do the audition with me, and
awesome.
she'll give me pointers, be like, "Hey, why don't you, slow down that line, or
Right,
why don't you give this line a little more oomph, or why
right,
don't you why don't you give it that sinister look, or why don't you
right,
give it
right.
that look that you like to do, you know?" So she helps out a lot. She does.
That's awesome. That's teamwork,
Mhm.
and that's what I'm talking about when it comes to relationship. Not she's not sitting in her room watching TV while you're trying to audition, and you might need a little help. She's there making sure that you get your audition right because she cares. That's
Correct.
very important. That's important. I like that. I like the fact that she does that. You know, um, and you keep pushing. There's gonna great things are coming your way. I know that right now we're going in a big crisis with what's going on in the world, and it's going to stop a lot of things from moving forward. But what's your opinion in what's going on in the
With the
world?
strike. Honestly, I think the world is getting too caught up in the world. People are not living their life as they should be living it. They're letting life live them.
Mm,
My I became a personal trainer and nutritionist, and my quote that I would tell my clients: live life to the fullest. Don't let life live you.
mm,
And I think
yes.
right now that's what a lot of people are doing is they're letting life live them. They're not out there doing what they want to do, not going out there hiking or camping or taking their boyfriend or girlfriend out or taking their wife or husband out. They're just sitting back and watching the robot that we see on TV,
Yeah.
you know, saying
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
and saying that and believing what they're saying. And
Right.
oh, we got to go do this. What? Huh?
Yeah.
They're not actually going out in the world. And you know, I always said if I made it to being a president or being in that high of a person, I would turn off internet for a whole 2 hours.
Oh, people
Just
go crazy.
yeah,
People
people
go
would go nuts. Because I want them to get back to themselves, get back to nature,
Yes.
get back to going outside. I mean, look at it, look at us growing up. We were never on our phones or never on TV. We were outside playing. Now,
Yes.
now you see kids, now you see kids looking at their phone and be like, "Why do I need to go outside? I can watch somebody do it."
Yeah.
What? Go out and do it yourself.
That's right. There's no interaction with people now. I
Exactly.
and you're right, because a few months ago I had a problem with my car. I couldn't drive it. I had to get on the bus to go downtown. And mind you, back in the 80s, if you was to walk in the bus and you was dressed fresh, like we say fresh, you was dressed nice, you get compliments. Hey, excuse me, sir. I like your shirt. Yo, nice sneakers. Where'd you get? There was conversation on the bus. You can hear people talking in the back of the bus, music. You had to turn around and say, "Hey, can you turn that down or bring down the volume a little bit? Because I'm trying to talk over here to not." So I got on this bus to go downtown, and it was probably like 45 minutes from my house downtown. The bus, Anthony, was so quiet. You could hear anything. Yes, everyone on the bus was
That's all
just
they
like
do.
that. No
Hmm.
communication. No one said hi. The bus driver looked bored as hell because he was just looking forward, and there was no communication on the bus for 45 minutes till I got off the bus, and I shook my head. I said, wow, what technology has done to these people. You
Hmm.
know, I look at my phone and I be on it for a little bit, but I can't be on it as long as people be on it. I mean, they be on it like it's their life. And it was so sad, the fact that no one complimented anyone, no one spoke to anyone, no one was aware of their surrounding. Everybody was just on their phone or the tablets. And it was just so sad. I said, wow, no wonder why we're losing each other, you know, um, because no one is communicating anymore. Instead of people, how many people text you instead of calling you?
Oh, a lot, a lot.
Right? There's almost no verbal communication to people. Everybody's just texting, or they might FaceTime you for a few minutes, but then they go back into texting. Um, and it's sad. Technology is really changing the world, and people are getting lost in this technology. And what's going on social media, and forgot that we humans first.
Hmm.
We're people, and we need to communicate. Um, so it's very sad that we're having this issue that we're having with technology nowadays, um, and it's really sad. So, what advice would you give anyone that wants to become an actor or a stuntman? What inspirational message can you give them?
I'm gonna say the quote that I just said before. live life to the fullest and don't let life live you. Go out there, enjoy life. Go out there, go hiking, go camping, spend time with your friends and family instead of being nose dipped in your phone. I mean, you have to learn and never think that you know enough. You don't know everything. You
Right.
might think so, but you don't.
Right.
You're always learning, always just study.
Right.
You
Right.
know, constantly study. That's all life is you're always learning.
Right. You're right. So if you could change anything in the industry, if you had an opportunity to, what would you change?
Wow.
It could be good or bad.
I think if I had to change one thing is if you're an actor or if you're an actress, go talk to your background. Go talk to your extras because if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't have that movie. You know, we work just as hard as you do. Yeah, you might be the big star doing the lines, but those lines aren't going to mean crap if there's nobody doing other things behind you. You know,
Good point.
I could sit here and say, "Hey, what are you doing, sir?" You can take that 3,000 different ways, but if you see something in the background or you see motion in the background or you see things going on in the background, you can actually relate what that guy said to what's going on.
Right.
Um, Never think you're bigger than anybody else.
Right.
You're always going to learn because you might learn something from the background to help you, or you know, you might be teaching something to the background that helps them get to where they want to be. So always have that open mind. Don't be so tunnel vision.
Mm, okay. Okay. Well, I want to thank you for coming on the show, Anthony. It was great. I had fun. You
Thank you,
know,
buddy.
and definitely we'll bring you back on the show in the future. When you do some more projects, and if you want to come on here and talk about anything else besides filming, personal things that you feel that you might want to let people know, we'll bring you back and we can talk about that as well. Um, and I want to wish you good luck and congratulations on with you and your fiance.
Thank
And
you.
if you don't send me an invite to your wedding, I will send the goons out. I will send the goons out, okay, and break the party up because I wasn't invited. Uh, no, I'm only kidding. I wish you the best. Wish you and your wife the best and your fiance the best. And I'll definitely talk to you later. And I'll see you soon.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Ciao.
Ja-
Yeah, yes, my people. That was Anthony, actor and stuntman. Great guys. You guys can see. Played in so many films. You guys can check them out. Um, and this is what it's all about, folks. It's about connecting with one another, helping with one another, so people can grow and become better at what they do. Because that's what this show is all about. It's about helping and progressing. You know, and this is the place where you find new talent, new faces, and new styles all the time. And this is why I love the Don Vic Show because we give people opportunities to come on the show and express themselves, express their talent. You know what I mean? And you never know when they're gonna get that call. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I want to thank everyone that tuned in to check my brother Anthony out. Tune in at 7 o'clock. I have Donnie Brown coming on the show. He's also an actor. He was an ex wrestler and a stuntman as well. He'll be on at 7 p.m. tonight. Make sure you guys tune in and share, because sharing is caring. Love the show. And I'll see you guys at 7 p.m. With that being said, I'm going to let y'all go with peace, love, and respect. And I'm out of here.